Hi everyone, it's Don and I hope you're having a fantastic day. Well, a lot of people have said, Don, you seem to be a little hard on the CDC sometimes. And it's not that I'm hard on them for doing what they're trying to do, keep people safe and stuff like that. I have no issues with that kind of stuff, but they certainly show a bias against cruise lines. And if this doesn't prove it to you, nothing will. So as you know, the CDC can give you guidelines to shut down businesses, to shut down theme parks, to shut down the cruising industry, to shut down airlines. They can shut everything down, and they're there to protect the American public and make sure everybody's safe. Great, no problems. But as long as you're doing that even-handed, right, there should be no political incentive and there should be no bias in any way. And a lot of people have come out, and even in like the investment industry and business analysis, have all come out and said that the CDC in particular seems to be very, very, anti-cruise ship or anti-cruise line at the moment. They only seem to be focusing on saying no and never about actually doing anything to help get the industry back up or anything like that. And it only seems to be the cruise lines. And I've come under fire for saying that before, but here's some things that I'm going to tell you and prove. So as you all know, we've seen cruise lines saying that they've tried to reach out to the CDC and here's what our protocols are, and they're not getting answers. They're not getting responses. So two cruise lines, Royal Caribbean, Norwegian Cruise Line, went and put a safety team together, and they're going to present that at the end of August to the CDC. We'll see if the CDC even looks at it, even listens to it, because the CDC has now said that they are not going to lift the no-sail order until it hears from public consultations. That's right. It wants public input now on how to reopen and keep people safe on cruise ships. That's funny. We'll get into that in a second, but here, I don't remember any public consultations on reopening schools, any public consultation on reopening theme parks, any public consultations on airlines going from social distancing onto full airlines, full aircraft now with the middle seats being used. I don't see any public consultations on that, but for the cruise industry, we have to have public consultations. That's hilarious to me. That's hilarious because we know anything about the intricate workings of cruise ships. We know anything about the virus protocols. We know anything about safety protocols and anything medical. What are they talking about? And some of the questions and things that they put on this is just ridiculous in a way. And so let's go over a couple of the things that I think are absolutely ridiculous. Okay, so as I read a couple of these questions off, remember, these are for public input. So let's go right with question number 1. Given the challenge of eliminating the onboard cruise ships while operating with reduced crew on board during the period of April 15, 2020, no sail order extensions, what methods, strategies, and practices should cruise ship operators implement to prevent transmission while operating with passengers? Again, we're not medical experts. We're not doctors. We're not viral experts. Why are they asking the public these questions? Should they not be the ones coming up with these answers? They are the Center for Disease Control. I don't understand. How about question number 4? What is the feasibility of conducting virus diagnostic testing using FDA-approved or authorized laboratory tests on board a cruise ship? We don't know. I don't know. I don't know how to input tests. I don't know how to take tests. I don't know what tests are FDA approved. You guys do. How frequently should cruise ship operators test all passengers and crew? I don't know. How about every 5 hours? Again, is this a question that anyone in the public has the knowledge or the know-how how to answer? We don't know what is a great amount of time to be testing. We don't know any of this stuff, but they're supposed to know. Why are they asking us? I really like question 9. Due to obstacles with commercial travel thus far, what pre-arrangements should cruise ship operators make with the airline industry to accept crew and passengers from ship not affected with the virus? You mean the the commercial travel that you've restricted to the cruise lines to fly their people home? Is that the restrictions you're talking about? And if you ever needed more proof that the CDC is just barking because they don't seem to know what to do, how about question number 13? What innovations should cruise ship operators develop to reduce transmission of the virus on board cruise ships? And how would these innovations be effective? I mean, really, what innovations should they come up with? I mean, is it like magic? Are we supposed to... Oh, I know. How about a light bulb that automatically kills the virus? That would be great. Why don't they come up with something like that? I think that would be really good. Or how about a big invisible force field that you can develop to put around the cruise ship that automatically kills anything that comes in contact with it that's viral? That would be a good invention. Why don't they come up with that innovation? That would be a great innovation, I think. Unbelievable. Like, it's the dumbest question on here. Almost the dumbest question on here. How about question number 17? Should cruise ship operators plan to reduce passenger and crew loads to decrease the risk of transmission on board the ship? As far as I know, every cruise line in the world has said that's exactly what they're going to do. So that's kind of a void question. But here's a great one. Here's a great one that everyone has an answer to, right? To what extent and for how long should cruise ship operators reduce passenger capacity? For how long? I don't know. How about 3 weeks? Does 3 weeks sound like a good number, CDC? I say 3 weeks is long enough to reduce capacity. It doesn't matter that this could be with us for 2 years. It doesn't matter that. It could get worse. It could get better. But let's put an arbitrary number in there, and I'm going to say 3 weeks. So everybody watching this video, fill out this question and just say 3 weeks and see what they come up with. Again, just a ridiculous thing to ask. Well, I got 2 more of these for you, and then I got one more, and I'm going to tell you the stupidest one that's on here. Number 26. How should cruise ship operators decrease or eliminate the risk of transmission for both passengers and crew in the following group settings? Embarkation and disembarkation, safety drills and training, dining, onboard entertainment events, and shore excursions. Well, let's see. They've already come up with, we're going to do embarkation by phone, direct times, less people, less passengers on board. Same with disembarkation. You're going to have times to leave. It's going to be smaller groups. They've already said that. Safety drills. The muster drill will probably be done by TV or phone in the future. Training's the exact same thing. There'll be more of an online presence. Dining. More dining times, less people on board, no buffet. You're going to be served your food. Everyone's going to be wearing masks. There's going to be social distancing. Onboard entertainment events, more shows spread out in the theaters, less people in the events. Shore excursions at 50% capacity with social distancing and wipes and safety precautions. They've already come out and said all of this, and they're coming up with more every day. But no, it's up to us to tell them what they should do, right? It's up to us that we're the ones who know exactly how embarkation, how complicated it is. We know what the rules and maritime laws are for safety drills and training. We know all that stuff. We know how the dining and kitchen works in cruise ships and how we can arrange things. Again, a dumb question, a stupid question. It's something that the CDC should be working directly with the cruise lines for, and not dilly-dallying and biding their time and just hiding the fact that they don't know what they're doing by doing, we're going to do public consultations. It's the dumbest thing I've heard from the CDC yet through all of this. And then we're going to get to number 28. And that is, should the cruise line be required to basically hire a person who will be legally responsible for implementing or the failure of implementations of protecting people? So basically what they're asking for there is a scapegoat, right? They're basically saying which person would like to have the job of being the scapegoat whenever anything goes wrong or anything happens. And it also, guess what? We can now blame this person for everything and divert attention from the actual CDC themselves, because let's say they implement all the things that the CDC has asked them to do and there's a viral outbreak. They can say, hey, what did you do? What was happening to you, mister? You were responsible for this. You're legally responsible for this. We're going to have to, people can take you to court, etc., etc. But no one will pay attention to the fact that they implemented all the procedures that the CDC has asked them to implement, and the CDC's procedures failed. You see how that works? They are taking away and putting responsibility on somebody else. It's the pass the buck, blame an underling, find somebody responsible, and divert all attention from your own failings. So there you go. Public consultations before they reopening. And by the way, you can put this all the way up until September 21st. That's 9 days before the no-sale order is supposed to lift in the United States. So if anybody out there thinks that no sale order is going to be lifted for October 1st, well, I got this lovely bridge just off the coast in California. It's going really, really cheap. Imagine owning your own personal bridge with the beautiful sunsets and things. Just contact me at www.youhavetobedreaming.com, because there is absolutely no way that they can go through all the consultation documentation and information and come up with guidelines and procedures according to these by October 1st if their deadline is the 21st of September. Public consultations, CDC, you guys are the experts. You guys are the ones who are supposed to know what to do. Why don't you tell us? Why don't you do it? Is it because you have no idea? Because that's what it makes it look like you're doing. The European Union, they came out with guidelines. Asia, they came out with guidelines. Norway, they came out with guidelines. But the biggest country in the world with the #1 cruise destination in the world, the CDC, can't do anything. It's unbelievable to me. And it almost seems to be being done on purpose. It almost seems like there's an agenda now. And it's getting to be the point where suspicions are now being raised. Why is this taking so long? And we're not talking about actually opening. So don't get me wrong. I'm not saying to open when things aren't safe or anything. But that does not mean you cannot come up with procedures so when you're ready to say yes to opening, the procedures are in place. Because by the time you put the procedures in place, the cruise lines need time to implement them. So just saying, so here they go. Oh, we got on the September 21st, we're going to have all these guidelines, and here you go, cruise lines, you implement all these things. The cruise lines have 9 days to implement them before the no-sale order lifts. There's no way. It's going to take 30 days just to get a cruise ship ready under normal circumstances from a cold shutdown. So there's absolutely no way that the CDC is going to lift the no-sale order October 1st, calling it now, and there's, this whole public consultation thing is just another stalling tactic. I put out a poll on the channel the other day, and overwhelmingly people said that the CDC should either tell us what they want us to do, or it's a stalling tactic. 74% of the people thought that's basically what's going on right now. And very few people thought that this, that the CDC was doing right by anything in any of the handlings of the cruise ships. And if you don't think that there's a bias on the cruise line industry, then answer yourself the one question. Why is it the only industry in the entire United States that needs a public consultation? Sports reopening doesn't need consultation. Theme parks, hotels, parks, nationals, schools opening up, meat factories, nothing needs public consultations. Old age homes, nothing needs public consultation except how to restart the cruising industry. It is absolutely, there's a word I want to use, and I'm not going to because I don't want to get demonetized. Unbelievable. What do you guys think? Do you think public consultations is a good idea? Do you think that's a great way to get medical advice and medical procedures, is to ask the public what we should do instead of relying on doctors and virus experts in the industry and cruise experts in the industry on how to implement things on the ships that they know and operate. Yeah. No. Yeah. I'm so sorry, but I absolutely think right now some of the stuff the CDC is coming out with is an absolute joke. An absolute joke when it comes to the way they're handling some stuff. And I know they're there to help protect everybody, but come on. Come on. Is this really their best idea? Let me know what you guys think down below. I'm very curious to think if this is bias, if this is what should be happening, or they should be doing it for everything. Because they're certainly not. They're only doing it for the cruise line industry. Well, I hope you appreciate this update. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. You want to see more tips, more tricks, more travel vlogs from around the world? Hit that subscribe button. Till next time, have yourself a safe and a great vacation.